Hi friends, it's Mrs. Darwin. I really miss you and I am thinking about you each day. I am going to read to you today a really cool book. It's called Officer Buckle and Gloria. Gloria is the dog. All right. I hope you don't know this one yet because it's really funny, but if you do, it's probably one of your favorites. This is one that my kids enjoyed. It's by Peggy Rathman. She's also written some other good books that you may run across. Before I get started, I just want to tell you there's something you should do when you listen to this story. I don't want you to miss it. When you look at each page, when Gloria is on the page and she's the dog, look to see what she's doing, okay? Because there's something funny she does. Okay. This is the first cover page. Officer Buckle and Gloria. Looks like Officer Buckle is writing down a lot of stuff. Okay, let's see. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77, never stand on a swivel chair. That's the swivel chair. Looks like he stood on it. So he learned that wasn't safe. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. Did you hear the name of the town? Napville? That might have to do with why everybody's so sleepy. Afterward, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle. But Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. Do you see any other accidents happening in this picture? I see a lot of them. Then one day, Napville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. Looks like he's already untied, isn't he? The children sat up and stared. Why do you think they did that? What's Gloria doing? Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention, and she was. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip that he had discovered that morning. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. I wonder what's so funny. Officer Buckle doesn't know. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of his tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. Look at Gloria. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Napville School. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawing showed a lot of imagination. This letter says, "Dear Gloria and Officer Buckle, thanks for coming to our school. You are nice. Your friend George." His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper, and it said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. "Officer Buckle," they said, "our students want to hear your safety tips, and please bring along that police dog." They're all phoning him. He's pretty excited. Officer Buckle told his safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere that he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. Where's Gloria in this picture? After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. What's Gloria doing while he's buying the ice cream? Is she signing autographs? Then one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the State College auditorium. He's got a big crowd this time. When he finished safety tip number 99, "Do not go swimming during electrical storms," the students jumped to their feet and applauded. "Bravo, bravo," they cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. I think he looked surprised. The next day, the principal of Knappville School telephoned the police station. "Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech." Officer Buckle frowned. "I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyway." "Oh," said Mrs. Topple. "Well, how about Gloria? Could she come?" Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to the school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep, and so did the audience. After Gloria left, Knappville School had its biggest accident ever. It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, sploosh. Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer. Oh, and look, she was on the swivel chair with the wheels. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, "Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet. Safety tip number 7. And she drew a picture of herself with the hammer bouncing off of her helmet. Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip ever. Safety tip 101. Always stick with your buddy. That's a pretty funny story. I really love how Gloria does all the safety tips, like to show what can happen to you if you slip if you fall. And in this book, actually really cool, in the front, it has, within each stars, all kinds of safety rules, and in the back it has them too. And in each one, she's acting them out. Like, never put anything in your ear, has Gloria with a banana stuck in her ear. Or wash your hands after you use the toilet, and she's doing it. So it's a great book if you have it at home, or if you are able to get it. You may really like reading this again. And I hope you enjoyed it today. So I just wanted to ask you something. There's a lot of safety rules, 101, that are part of this program that Officer Buckle gives to the schools. And I was thinking, I wonder what kind of safety rules you have at home. I'm sure you have rules that keep you safe. And maybe you have rules at school. I know you do. You can probably think of a few. And maybe when you're on your bike, or maybe when mom or dad are driving their car. They've got rules that they have to follow, am I right? When you're on the playground, I know at school at least, we have some rules. And they're all there to keep people safe. So that is something that police officers try to do for people. They try to keep us safe by sometimes making sure that we follow the rules. So I wanted to show you something that you can maybe make at home and play a game with. First, I would say, oh, and I have it upside down. This is a traffic light, right? I'm sure you've seen this when you've been in your mom or dad's car and driven up and you see a red light. What do you think the red light means? That's right, stop. Yellow means slow down, caution, you may need to stop. Green means go, definitely go. So I made this by taking a little bowl and tracing a circle around it. And I would say, I'd really like to see you guys practice with your scissors. If you could cut some circles, it could even be out of white paper. And then you could use your markers, or you could use paint and paint a red, a yellow, and a green circle. If you do that, that is good scissor practice, but also it lets you play a game. So here's a game I have in mind. You could even set like a little timer or have a race with your family members to go see who is the first person that could find a red object and put it on that circle. And then when everybody's back, go rush around the house and see who can find a yellow object. And then lastly, who can find a green object? Or how many things can you find? Maybe you don't have somebody to play with right then. Go and see how many red, yellow, and green objects you can find around the house. Then you can sort them and maybe even count them. I know some of my friends in my class can count to 20. So I wonder how many you could find and count. If you don't think that you can find that many things around the house, I'd be surprised. But you could take colored blocks, you could take Legos, and you could sort them. So that would be fun. I'll show you some things that I found. I found this. This is an old milk lid for the milk container. And I found some red tape. That would be good for my red area. I found a yellow yo-yo and some Post-it notes for my yellow. And for my green, I found some hand sanitizer and I found a green marker. You can almost always find a green marker. So that is something that you could play at home, and I hope you do. And at the very least, I hope you at least try cutting circles with your scissors. That's a really, really important skill. Not to just go in a straight line, but to learn how to follow a line and go in a curve. All right, 2 more things. One more thing would be, so police officers a lot of times have to look for clues, am I right? They have to really be observant. They have to look around. If something has happened, like even a traffic accident, they have to try to look for what clues there are to how did it happen, right? So I don't have a magnifying glass at home, but a detective might use one to see something up close and see more details. So one way you can make a magnifier in your house without special magnifying glass is take a little jar of water, okay? And you have to probably clean off the label and clean off the glue. But look, if you look through the glass with the water, you can see how big my fingers get. You can see details of things. You could go outside and do a little nature detective work if you wanted in your backyard. What does a blade of grass or a clover look like? Some of your flowers, what about bark or mulch or a bug? Okay, if you're brave enough to pick up the bug, that'd be pretty fun. So that would be another idea. Also, I just had one more thing. I don't know if you've played red light, green light before, but that is a really fun game. And that's another kind of a traffic game. Basically, one person gets to be the traffic light, and they say red light, green light, and they alternate. They do one and then the other. And when it's red light, everybody else, whether it's just your mom or just your sister, whoever is playing with you, has to stop. And that's when you look at them. You say red light, but then you have to say green light, and you turn your back to them, and they are supposed to try and sneak up on you. And then red light, green light, somebody's gonna win. If you play with more than one person, you'll see who gets you first. They have to be very quiet, and they also have to get to you first. But they have to stop when you say red light. That's a fun game. Red light, green light. Another one is hot or cold. For example, let's say you hid something in your living room, and your family comes in, and they are looking for it. You can tell them, you're very, very hot. You're really close. That's what that means. Or you're so cold, because they're walking away from it. The farther away from it they are, they're really cold. The closer to it they are, the hotter they are. So you got to give them clues so that they can find the object. And one more game. We've played this in my classroom, and it's so fun. I bet you've done it at home. I Spy, right? So I spy with my little eye, and you just give somebody one clue, like something round or something green or something wet. And then whoever you're playing with starts guessing, and you can say, nope, that's not it. Yep, nope, that's not it. Until finally they get it, and they will get it. So that is something that a police officer also would be doing. Basically, really investigating and being observant and making notes to themselves like, I have a clue. It is round. Let me go look for round things. So anyway, I hope you like those ideas. Today is a rainy day, so it'd be a perfect day for a game like this. I think tomorrow is also going to be rainy. So I hope you're making the best of your indoor time. Don't forget to get out those scissors. Try to cut a circle and maybe engage your family in a couple games. So anyway, best to you guys, and I will be in touch next week. Also, look for buttercup pictures. I'll send some more tomorrow. All right, take care.